Welcome back to the Oxendine Law Podcast. We're back. Jared and Christine, your favorite divorce attorneys, hosting your favorite podcast, I'm sure. Today, we're talking about the digital age and protecting your digital privacy during divorce. From email hacks to shared cloud storage, your personal data may be at risk. Your communications with your attorney and your game plans and your strategy sessions and all the stuff you're getting from your lawyer could be at risk if you don't secure that stuff. So let's talk about some practical steps on things you can do and things you should do to protect your digital privacy during the divorce process. Biggest thing, Christine, is you're married to somebody a long time. You could probably guess their passwords.
Yes. You probably have shared them. You're probably the same passwords for everything. Yes.
And you don't want to do that anymore because
Right.
keep in mind, back in the day when I first started practicing, which, my goodness, is over 20 years ago now, we mailed letters out for
Mhm.
everything. We'd had phone calls with clients, or we would actually send, believe it or not, I would take the time to type out a letter to my client with updates or information or whatever I needed them to know, and I'd put it in the mail and send it to them. Can you imagine how archaic that sounds right now?
Right.
But what we do now is you get it by email. So everything we file in your case, communication to you, might be updates to you, might be our advice on certain situations. It might be strategies on what we think you should implement in your case. It may be a detailed list of what you want and what you're willing to settle for. A lot of that communication is digital through email. And you may think that you have an email account that's secured, but let's say you're using the same email that you had during the marriage. And yes, it's just your email account. Your spouse has never used that email account, but they know about that email account. They know probably what your password is, or if not, they could guess it.
Or it might be saved on the home computer, or you forgot about the iPad over there, or there's that old Chromebook that you haven't opened in 3 years, but if you haven't changed your password, probably still saved in there. Old phones in the drawer that have been dead, but you plug them in, fire them up, all those passwords are saved. I have a lot of people who have had content breaches because of old phones that I don't know why none of us throw away our old phones, but we upgrade. And if you don't trade it in, that's a good program. I appreciate them starting that because the rest of us throw them in a drawer. Why do I have 30 old phones from when I was in college up until now? I don't know, but they're there. And if you plug them in, they're going to fire up, and a lot of them have passwords saved.
So you got to secure all that and you got to change those passwords. I mean, obviously, the first simple thing to do is set up a brand new email account that's
Yes.
dedicated just to your case and come up with a random password that you actually don't even remember yourself and you have to go write it down somewhere secure because you can't remember it, right? Just I'm being a little extreme, but come up with a new password that there's no way on earth that your spouse could guess. It's not your children's birthdays,
Right.
it's not your wedding date, it's not your mother's maiden name or whatever, right? It's
Mhm.
some unique password that only you would have access to. That way your spouse can't intercept that communication because if they know your password, it's legally obtained. Keep that in mind. If your spouse knows your email account and they know your password and you know that they've used it in the past and you know that they know your password, it's not illegal for them to go into your email
No.
and get that
It is
information.
not hacking if 3 years ago you gave them your Facebook password so that they could log in and post the pictures from the vacation onto the account or whatever. And now you're like, I can't believe they're intercepting my messages. That was between me and my sister on Facebook Messenger, and he downloaded them all. And yeah, he gets to do that. If you
And
have
they can
shared a
use it in court.
password, yes.
Let's say you have sensitive information in there. You may have some pictures that you don't want them to know. You may have communication in there that you don't want your spouse to know about. If they know, like Christine said, they know about the account, they know the password, you know they know the password, and they get in and get that information, they can use that against you in a court proceeding.
At some point, it was permissive use. So if you didn't change your password to remove that permission, they are still a permissive user in your account.
That's right. And you definitely don't want them to see your confidential attorney-client privilege communications between you and your
Correct.
lawyer. So super important to secure all that stuff and change those passwords. Now, let's say your spouse has hacked into something because we've had situations where a spouse has actually put an intercepting device
Mhm.
on a computer
Some
or
sort
a
of
phone,
tracking software. Yeah.
or you didn't give them your password and somehow through a hacking device or some other means, they hacked into your email account and obtained information that's sensitive, or maybe it's attorney-client privilege, whatever it may be. If it's that would be illegally obtained.
Correct.
And if it's illegally obtained, then they cannot use it in court. And the attorney, frankly, if they're in receipt of that information, actually is supposed to notify the other attorney that they have it.
Right. But remember that Using it in court is different than having knowledge of it. Like, let's say, for example, it is you communicating with your high school boyfriend, that little rekindle the flame thing, right? Just because they can't introduce those messages in court and show the judge what we're talking about, they're still going to plead and say, you're committing adultery, right? The knowledge and the information is out there. You can't take that back. Just because you can't say how you know about the adultery, they're going to be able to update their pleadings, put it in their discovery responses, talk about it in court that I know he or she is having an affair. So the information's out there. So it's not always about just, oh, well, good, he can't use that against me. It can, it just can't necessarily be entered as an exhibit in court.
That's right. We don't want them to know to begin with because they may never tell you they've got it.
Right.
So we just don't want them to know. So make sure you protect your digital information. In today's world, digital protection is just as important as legal protection. So let's get that stuff secured. Hit that subscribe button. Continue to be updated on our future episodes. We'll see y'all next time.